Christmas bells ring, ring, swinging my shopping bag, singing.
Hi guys, today I'm going to be putting on a whole lot of Victoria Beckham beauty products. A while ago, I think it was about a couple of weeks ago, I did a haul video showing the products that I'd picked up because I found out that they do ship to New Zealand and they had a 20% sale off. So I picked up quite a few items. One of those items was one of the new lid lustres, and it is in the shade Velvet. So I'll be using that today, probably along with a matte eyeshadow from one of her smoky eye bricks. I have used some Victoria Beckham products before. Last year I picked up the smoky eye brick, and this is in Tuxedo, and this is really, really beautiful. I'll just lift that up so you can see it. But this is a really beautiful colour story, and I think the shadows are just gorgeous and blend beautifully. I've already used one of her lid lustres before as well, and I've got the one blonde, and I picked up this one because if I'm putting on an eyeshadow and I think it just needs a little bit of lightness added, then this is the perfect colour. And again, I think the formulas are just really, really beautiful. So that is in the one blonde. So I'll have to do another video at some stage with the Victoria Beckham products as well, because I picked up 3 different eyeliners. I picked up 2 different cheeky Posh for blush. And I also picked up an extra lid lustre, and it is in the shade Chiffon. And I did pick up another smoky eye brick, and that is in the Colour Story Silk. One of the products that I've been dying to get my hands on, and is the matte bronzing brick. I picked this up in 02. This is in Honey. And even though Cult Beauty sell this, and they do deliver to New Zealand as well as Net-a-Porter, neither of those places ever had these bronzing bricks. And I've heard that they are really, really beautiful. Initially, I think when these came out, there was a few issues with the packaging, not how it looks or how it feels. The Victoria Beckham products are sleek. They have this tortoiseshell packaging. They always remind me of really old-fashioned the cigarette cases. They feel very luxe in the hand. But I think when these were first released, there was trouble with them closing back down again, but there's no issues with this. So I will just take off the protector and just show you the bronzer. Now I think that this may be a bit light, it may not. I'll give it a go. If I find that it is a little bit too light, then next time I do an order with Victoria Beckham Beauty, I'll get the bronzer 03. So I've already got my base makeup on, I've got my foundation on and powder. I've got concealer under my eyes. I've done my eyebrows. I've also got eyeshadow primer on. And I wear eyeshadow primer because I have oily skin, I have oily lids, and really for my eyeshadows to stay put throughout the day, I do need to wear an eyeshadow primer. Everything that I am putting on my face today, I will have listed and linked in the description box below. So I'm just going to grab my Sonia G, it's the Niji Pro brush. This is the one I mainly use for bronzers. And I'm just going to sweep between the 2 shades. I haven't used this product yet, so this is really a first impression. So this is quite light, but it does look really beautiful on the skin. This also blends out really beautifully as well. So I think that this shade would be absolutely perfect for in the winter months for me, when I don't want too much warmth for my skin, just a small amount. So I think this would be really great for winter. It's not one that I think, oh, I can't see anything and I won't get any use out of it. I do think it's really lovely and just gives a really beautiful, it's a subtle warmth. So I think that that blended absolutely beautifully. It's not patchy in any way, and I can see why people really love it. I think it looks really, really beautiful. I will be getting the shade 03. just so I can get a little bit more warmth if I want that, but really, really beautiful. So since it's the first time using it and this is a first impression, I think it is really, really lovely. The packaging is absolutely gorgeous. So now we'll take a look at the two lid lustres that I picked up. So I picked up Chiffon. So here is the shade Chiffon. And this is a really gorgeous colour, but today I'll be using the other one, Velvet. That's a more newer release. And these do have the little lid that just pops on top of the shadow, which you need to keep. That will stop the shadow from drying out. The one that I got last year, the one blonde that I showed you, I've kept that little lid on top, and I used this not too long ago and it still feels really, really beautiful. So now we'll just take a look at Velvet. And these products are made in Italy and they have a shelf life of 24 months and they are also cruelty free. So this one looks really beautiful. It is a green with gold in it. It is really, really gorgeous. So I'm going to swatch these three lid lustres on the back of my hand so you can take a look. So this one is Velvet. This is the newest release. And this is the one I got last year. This is the one blonde. And this is the other one that I recently picked up. And that is the shade Chiffon. And I also picked up another smoky eye brick. And this is in the colour Story Silk. So I'll just open this up and show you. I'll use this in another video. I won't use this today. I will use one of the shades from the other smoky eye brick palette I have, the one Tuxedo. So again, it's just got a little shade saver on the top. And this is the colour Story of Silk. This is really, really beautiful. So I'm going to take the Sonia G. This is the classic crease brush. And from the Tuxedo palette, I'm going to use this shade here. And I'm just going to put it in the outer corner and through the crease. I tend to do this when I use more glittery or metallic eyeshadows. I just like a matte in there just to ground it all. So I'm just going to put a little bit in the outer corner. And these shadows are fairly pigmented. So I've just picked up a little bit from this palette onto brush and I'm just going to put it through the crease, and I'm just going to take it above the crease as well just so you can still see the shadow. I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is a soft definer, and I'm going to stay with the shade, and I'm just going to run some under my lower lash line. So now let's try out this really beautiful lid lustre in the shade Velvet. I'm first going to go in with the Tuxedo brush. This is the F061. It's small, it's soft, but it's quite dense. And we'll just see how it goes on with that. So I'm just going to just lightly tap in there. And hopefully there isn't too much fallout. So I'm just going to take it fairly easy. And we'll just start in here, and I'm just going to go just slowly and tap it through just to avoid any fallout. So that is a really beautiful shade. Now I went in twice. The first time I just tapped it in once and went over, and then I just did it again. Now I saw a video the other day where they said there was some fallout. They were probably using a different brush, but using this one, and I'm having a good look, I don't see any fallout whatsoever. So I think the trick to it is just using just a small, soft, dense brush and just slowly tapping it on. It looks really, really beautiful. It is got that deep green, but it's also got a gold through it as well. It's really, really gorgeous. I'm just going to look for a brush, and I'm going to put a little bit of this just through here as well. So I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the pencil one, and I just want to run just a little bit through here, and I'm just going to put a little bit in the inner corner as well. So again, while I'm doing this, I can't see any fallout. I think if you just go quite slow, use a dense brush, I don't think there will be any issues. I think it's really beautiful, and I love it together with the matte eyeshadow as well. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you just want to wear it on its own, I think that would be lovely too, and this would blend out. I'm just going to wipe down one of the brushes I've got. It's a Rapha number 14, and I'm just going to go over this and just see if it blends out. And it does. These are a really, really lovely formula. So it blends out really beautifully. So I think instead of probably going straight in with a fluffy brush, if you put it on with the brush or something similar to what I have, and then take a fluffier brush, and then you can do some blending out. And again, there doesn't seem to be any fallout. So I'm just going to wipe down the Sonia G, the pencil one, and I'm just going to go back into Tuxedo, and I'm just going to use exactly the same shade that I was before, and I just want to add a little bit more depth in the outer corner here. So if you haven't used the Victoria Beckham, the Smoky Eye Bricks before, I highly recommend them. They are beautiful. They have great pigment and they blend just so beautifully. Really beautiful eyeshadows. So now we'll take a look at the Satin Kajal eyeliners. I haven't tried out these yet. So these, when I swatched them when I did the haul video, they felt super creamy. So it's going to be interesting. I think they're going to go on beautifully when I put the colour on that I choose. I think they're just going to be very smooth. I just want to see how they last. So what I'll do is when I've uploaded this video, I'll pin a comment because I'll be wearing these for the rest of the day. It's early morning here and I'll let you know how these wore. But I'm going to swatch all these on the back of my hand. So I picked up the shade Ash, and I've also got the shade Cocoa, and the third one I picked up, that is Olive. So once again, the packaging of these is really beautiful. And one end you've got the liner, and then the other end you've got a sponge tip, and that's so you can smoke it out. And these eyeliners, they are made in Germany and they have a shelf life of 12 months from date opening. So these are the three shades, and first of all we have the one Ash, and then the middle one is Olive, and then the third one is Cocoa. So the one that I'm going to use today is the one Olive, because I've already put a little bit of that beautiful brown shadow, and I just want to see how this looks with this really gorgeous, this lid luster. I think it'll be really beautiful. The eyeliner just went on beautifully, and it also smokes out beautifully too. So I think together with that velvet lid luster and the matte shade from the Tuxedo, and together with this eyeliner, it's just really beautiful. I think it's a really lovely eye look. Now I did wipe off the eyeliner swatches that I had on my hand, but I'm just going to put back on just the shade Olive, and I'm just going to leave it on there, and at the end of the video I'll just give it a rub and just see how smudge proof they are, because that will give me an indication of how they're going to last throughout the day. Initially you can smudge them out, and that's like with most eyeliners, but after a minute or two they should start to dry down. So I'm hoping that this one is going to, because they just apply so beautifully and they are really creamy. So if they last really well during the day with my oily skin, these are just going to be staples in my eyeliner collection. I picked up two of the cheeky Posh blushes, one in Fame and one in Major. These are made in Italy and they have a shelf life of 24 months from date of opening. Again, just really, really beautiful packaging. And this is the shade, this is Major. And this one is the shade Fame. So this is Major and this is Fame. I'm not too sure which one that I'm going to put on with today's look. I think I will use the one Major. Now with cream blushes, there's different ways you can apply it. So you can go straight from the stick and dab it on your cheek and then blend it out, or take the brush that you're going to use and swipe it across the blush and then start blending it out that way. I think what I'll do is I'm just going to dab some on my cheek. Now I haven't used these yet. I think I swatched them in my haul video, so I'm not quite sure how pigmented they are. So I'm just going to start off fairly easy with them. I'm going to take the Sonia G. This is the classic base brush, and I'll just start blending it out. So this blends out really beautifully. Now I will add a bit more. I love it. This is quite subtle to begin with, so I do love it. So this is a blush, when it goes on, can be quite subtle, and I imagine you're going to be able to build it. I'll put a little bit more on in a minute, but I love that. If this was just for me, without doing this video, and if I was going out, just with that really subtle hint of that blush, that's really just how I would leave it, just like that. But I will add a little bit more, so we can build it up and you can see what it looks like. This blends out really, really beautifully. And they also build really beautifully as well. So for the side, I'll put on a little bit more than I did for the first time with the other cheek. And hopefully they will match up. The other way that I put on cream blushes, you can even use your fingers to tap them out if you want to. And with a cream, although you really don't need any help with this, it's blending out beautifully. But again, the warmth of your fingers helps a cream product to spread out more. And another tool that I use is a beauty blender or a beauty sponge. It's just that I really like these Sonia G, these fusion brushes, and they do a really beautiful job with cream products. And I also got the highlight stick. I'm pretty sure this was a free gift with my order. So it's in Pearl. It has a shelf life of 24 months from date of opening, and this product is made in Italy as well. This has really beautiful packaging. So instead of the tortoiseshell, you have this gold, and it's really, really beautiful. And then at the top, you have the white with the Victoria Beckham logo. So I'm just going to tap a little bit just on my cheekbone, and I'll use my finger just to tap it out. So it blends out really, really beautifully, and I think it's a really lovely highlighter. I think it's quite subtle, and it doesn't seem to feel overly tacky. I think it's going to set down really, really beautifully. So I'm just going to just pop some on the other side. And finally, the Posh lipsticks. I already have 3 of these. I picked up a new shade, and it is in the shade Pout. But the other shades that I have are Smile. I also have Sway, and I also have the shade Girl. So I'll swatch these all on the back of my hand so you can take a look. These have a shelf life from 12 months of date of opening, and these products are also made in Italy. So I'm just wiping off the 2 blush swatches that I've got on the back of my hand, but I've still left the eyeliner on there. So the 4 shades are Girl, and then we have Sway, then we have Smile, and my most recent one is Pout. So Pout is the one that I'm going to put on today. Again, the packaging with Victoria Beckham is just beautiful. This is the tortoiseshell one, and again, it feels quite heavy in the hand. I love the slim line of these lipsticks. They just feel really, really elegant, really beautiful. Now, I also did pick up a lip liner, and this is in 03. So I'll just swatch this just next to the shade that I just swatched. So that is the lip liner, 03. So I really want to use the newest shade in the lipstick today, and that is the one Pout. So I'm not going to use the lip liner today. I'll use that in another video. I just think it's a little bit dark, and I know there are some people that do a look and they line dark and they go lighter in the inside. I don't like that. I like a lip liner that matches my lipstick. So I'm going to skip the lip liner today and just put on Pout. And then finally, I have got the Posh gloss, and this is in ice. It's just a clear gloss. Now, this might have been what I got free when I did my order. I'm not sure whether it was this or the highlighter stick. And this gloss is made in the USA, and it has a shelf life of 18 months from date of opening. So here is what it looks like. So it still has the tortoiseshell up the top there, and it's just a clear gloss. So here is the final look, and I have absolutely no regrets with any of the products that I picked up. I think altogether it looks really, really beautiful. The bronzer is gorgeous. It blended absolutely beautifully, so I know now why people love it so much. I do think it's probably a little bit light for the summer. Next time I do an order, I will pick up 03, but I think for winter it's going to be perfect. And if you just want a little bit of warmth, that subtleness, then 02. If you've got the same skin tone as me, there's nothing wrong with 02. I think it gives a very subtle warmth, and it's just really, really lovely. The eyeshadow brick, the one that I use, just that one shade from Tuxedo, is beautiful and blends out really, really beautifully. The lid luster is beautiful, and I think this is a really, really gorgeous colour. I'm just seeing if there was any fallout. I'm just having another look. There might have been one speck down here, but there doesn't seem to be any other type of fallout. I think it just depends how you apply it, and if you go in first with that dense brush and then with a fluffier one just to blend it out a little bit, I don't think you're going to have any issues. I just think it is a really, really beautiful shade. The eyeliner goes on beautifully. It's like butter, and it's just creamy. So I went to give it a rub on the back of my hand, and it sort of does smudge out a little bit. So I'm not too sure how these are going to last on my eyes. They could be okay, but I'll let you know how it wears throughout the day. And as I said earlier, when I upload this video to YouTube, I will pin a comment and let you know. I'll also let you know how this lid luster wore as well, and whether it creases throughout the day or not. The cream blushes are beautiful. They apply beautifully, and I love the shade. The other darker shade that I picked up is going to be really gorgeous as well. No issues with it blending out. I think the highlighter is lovely. I'm just going to feel it now. You can slightly feel it, but it's not overly sticky. It's not tacky. I think it just gives a really beautiful subtle highlight, and I love the new shade of this lipstick in Pout. It's really beautiful, and this is an everyday shade for me. And the gloss is a gloss. It feels fine. It doesn't feel overly sticky or tacky, and the lipstick and the gloss together both feel really, really hydrating. It's a clear gloss, and it's really lovely. So I'm really thrilled with all of these products, and next time Victoria Beckham has a sale, I will be getting some more items. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.